Welcome back. Well, with summer on the way, we're being urged to make more use of our waterways, and a new campaign encouraging people to help look after and protect Scotland's canals has been launched in Glasgow this week. Well, joining me now is Richard Miller from Scottish Canals, Tracy Peedle from the Scottish Waterways Trust, and Ronnie Russick, who's chairman of the Scottish Lowland Canal Volunteer Group. Thank you all for coming in. Now, Richard, tell me a bit about our canal network. What state are they in?
Well, we're very lucky in Scotland. We've got 4 and a little bit of canals left. They're in fantastic state. We have the Caledonian, the Crinan, the Forth and Clyde and the Union Canal right across Scotland. And these have seen regeneration happening over them in the last 20, 30 years, transformed, especially in the lowlands where they were closed. They've come back to life, and there's people out there using them and enjoying them. And it's just a fantastic asset on a sunny day like today. And Tracy, you've launched a campaign to get us to help clean up our waterways. How does it all work?
Yes, this is a new initiative. Scottish Waterways Trust has always worked with volunteers out and about on the canals, but this is a new partnership with Scottish Canals and the Lowland Canals Volunteer Group, where we're all working together to coordinate some of the packages of work that we're going to be delivering. So we're looking for 100 new volunteers under this initiative, and it's not just out and about on the canals. We're also looking for people to come and help us do other things that they may be interested in, whether it's historical research, archiving, marketing. There's lots of jobs, lots of really interesting jobs for volunteers to do on the canals.
Well, we'll talk more shortly, but first, Amy Dunsmuir went along to join volunteers at the Maryhill Locks at the launch of this new recruitment drive.
They offer a spot of tranquility in the middle of our busiest cities, giving us a chance to enjoy the great outdoors right on our doorsteps. But we all need to do our bit to keep them green and tidy. Now, Scottish Canals have teamed up with the Scottish Waterways Trust to encourage more of us to get our hands dirty.
We're at a vital time in our Canal Renaissance, where they're offering much more to Scotland in terms of water management, leisure, recreation, tourism, and we just think the time is right to do much more to enable communities to participate in that, rather than us doing all that ourselves.
Over the last few years, more than 800 people have given up some of their time to help give our waterways a facelift, meaning more than 14,000 hours of voluntary work is done every year. Now the hunt is on for an extra 100 people to roll up their sleeves and help to maintain Scotland's canal network. Whether it's litter picking or gardening, masonry or lock keeping, there's a job for everyone.
So I come up here and I run along the canal. I saw the sign for the volunteers and I decided to join it, and I really enjoy it.
It has built my confidence up a wee bit, and obviously I've met new people through doing it as well, and obviously to get something on a CV for further down the line for full-time employment.
Well, I mean, if you're bored sitting at home watching daytime telly, you're better out here doing something,
For almost 200 years, Scotland's canal networks provided arterial routes for transporting industrial materials. But after their closure in the 1960s, they were left to rot. Now, thanks to campaigners and volunteers, they offer a great day out for all the family.
The canal's got a very proud industrial heritage. It had a period of sad decline, but that's been absolutely reversed. It's a really valued leisure opportunity, which you can tell just by all the people walking and cycling out and about on the canal today. So the more people that realise that the canals are great for that, then the more they'll be used and the more their use will grow, which is what we're all trying to aim for.
So whether you're a nautical novice or an old sea dog, you can soon have your place in the long history of Scotland's canals. Amy Dunsmuir, STV News.
Well, Ronnie, tell me about your involvement in Canalside.
Well, that goes back, way back about 45 years ago, when the canals were completely derelict. And I've seen the canals come to life again, thanks to Scottish Canals and all the work they've done and the Millennium Link project. But I had a business on the canal, and which was very successful. And right next to the business, we started an organisation called the Seagull Trust, which was taking free cruises for the disabled and disadvantaged on the canal. And even with that group, we managed to get 8 boats and hundreds of volunteers actually involved. And it went from there to supporting the Millennium Link project, to seeing the canals reopen. And I've been an avid supporter that the way forward with the canals now, well beyond my time, is through volunteering, particularly when cash is a bit short nowadays for investment, although the Scottish Government do a great job. But we really need to bring the canals even more successfully with the volunteers.
And Ronnie, as for when you look at the areas that have been regenerated and the work that yourself and other volunteers have done, how does that make you feel?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I honestly never thought I would see it in my lifetime. It was such a magical project. And to see a canal which was totally derelict and, green rubbish and everything thrown into it, it was just like an open sewer. And it was all blocked. You couldn't take a boat from one end to another. Now you can take a boat from Edinburgh to Glasgow and down to Bowling. You can take a yacht from the continent, come through the Forth and Clyde Canal and get up to the lovely West Coast sailing grounds. It's absolutely just a different place altogether. And it's used by so many people on the towpath. There's thousands of people who use that every year.
And Tracy, how important are the canals from an environmental and a historical point of view?
They're very important from an environmental and historical point of view. They provide unique green corridors into the heart of our cities, and they provide those areas with a connection to the countryside. So there's lots of fantastic wildlife to see on the canals, and a lot of the work we do is about surveying wildlife and teaching all sorts of people how to spot and survey wildlife. Also, the industrial heritage is second to none. There's lots of fantastic buildings associated with the canal. So the heritage is very important, but our volunteering initiative is also very important to people. People volunteer for all sorts of different reasons along the canals, whether it's about getting outdoors, getting out and about in the fresh air, whether it's about learning new skills, or whether it's just becoming a bit more healthy. So the canals are very important to people and the communities, and it's part of our job to try and reconnect people with the canals.
And Richard, what's the biggest source of damage or cause for concern at the moment?
I think this is about engaging people and getting people out there using the canal and enjoying them. And the canals, very much, there's 1 million people live within 3 kilometres of Scotland's canals. And for us, this is about getting people involved and engaged to use those assets, but also to take ownership as well, to look after them and help us to maintain them. And so, I mean, a lot of it comes down to, we've got a fantastic archive, so we want people that can help us understand that archive. We've got some amazing engineering, 250 years old engineering out there, and people help us with that side of things. We've got vegetation control, we've got lock keeping, some great jobs that I think as kids people have always wanted to do. Get out there and enjoy seeing the boats through, operating these structures and enjoying them.
And Tracy, briefly, what type of people and skills are you looking for?
We're looking for all sorts of people and skills. People want to volunteer for all sorts of different reasons. We have lots of outdoor activities. Richard mentioned lock keeping, vegetation management. So anybody that wants to get out and about on the canals. We also are looking for people to help us with marketing, historical research, any technical expertise that people have. We would love to hear from them.
And Ronnie, in a sentence, why should people volunteer?
Because it's fun. It's great fun. And once you've become a volunteer, like me, once you're in, you never leave. It's superb.
That's brilliant. Ronnie, Tracy and Richard, thank you so much for coming in to tell us all about the canals.
Thank you.
Now remember, you can get in touch with us if there's a story you want us to tell. You can contact any of our reporters by Facebook or Twitter. And don't forget, keep up to date with all the latest on the STV News app. And that's it for the moment. From all of us here in the STV News team, enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye for now.